Hello everyone, welcome back to Hope Worldwide Academia. So I thought I can restart with the academic classes. As usual, my favorite subject is research. So let us see some of the topics from research from your first unit. Okay, so these classes are for master students who are doing their masters in nursing and MPH and MSc psychology students, and also BSc students who are studying your research subject in third year and as well as fourth year BSc nursing. Okay. Now, when we talk about research, as we know that what are the different characteristics of research. Research is a subject which I personally call it's a superhero. If you want to pursue your higher studies without research, you can't go for your masters or MPhil or doctorate, right? So today let us see some criteria that we can actually emphasize on during research, different phases of research. Okay, so I would like to focus on number one criteria that everybody should know. What is the first step of research? It's about research problem statement. Research problem statement. Okay, so when you look at what do you mean by research problem statement, it's always about what are you going to discover, right? On which topic are you going to conduct the study? So according to Kerlinger, problem statement is an interrogative sentence or statement that is going to discover the relationship between two variables. As you know that there are two variables in the statement of the problem. One is independent variable, the other one is called as dependent variable, right? So what is variable actually? Something that you measure. For example, if your study is measuring knowledge, that is variable. In your study, if you are measuring practice, that is called as variable, right? If you have any kind of intervention like STP, structured teaching program, or any kind of experiment, that comes under independent variable. Okay, so we will go back to the criteria. So I am going to teach you three criteria today. One is for the problem statement. Okay, so what is the main criteria for problem statement? How do you select a statement of the problem as a budding researcher? Please understand the criteria is called as FINER. Okay, so FINER, it's very easy to remember. Somebody asks you, how are you? Yes, I am doing fine, thank you. So it is something like FINER. Okay, so what is FINER? F stands for feasible. Feasible. So feasibility is a wonderful term that we enunciate in the subject of research. It's called convenience. Okay, so whenever you take a problem statement or when you select a study, make sure that your study is always feasible in terms of money, in terms of your energy or your time. Okay, you cannot overuse anything, any expertise. If you are trying to overuse your expertise, you are not a good researcher. So make sure that when you select a problem statement, it should be feasible. Okay, come to I. I stands for interest. So always the topic of the study should be interesting according to the need of the community, according to what is that, demands of society. Suppose if I conduct on hand hygiene techniques again, because COVID-19 scenario has actually bombarded with a lot of information on hand hygiene. If I select again going back to that and selecting on hand hygiene techniques, I don't think that can contribute much to healthcare scenario, right? So based on interest, for example, something is more quite interesting to continue with the research, that can be selected for study. Okay, so second criteria is called interest. And what do you mean by the third criteria? N. N stands for novelty. Novelty is all about bringing newness. Okay, something new. Try something new in research, especially discovering kind of techniques, right? You know, aromatherapy in labor pain, or many techniques are there now. I don't remember, like, you know. So it's all about what? Novelty, bringing new things, new therapies or new interventions. Okay, so all those things will be much more, all those aspects will be much more interested to study. Come to E. Can anybody remember what is E in research? Of course, students who are attending my offline classes will definitely know. E will what is that? E denote ethics. Okay, so you cannot go beyond ethics. Research is an ethical process. You need to have set rules and regulations. Without ethical consideration, you cannot have a problem statement. So whenever you are selecting a statement of the problem, make sure that it is ethically approved. Make sure that it is legally it can be conducted. Okay, so you cannot interfere with the privacy of the client. You cannot interfere with the confidentiality. That's what. And whatever we do in the research, it should promote autonomy, it should promote beneficence, it should be confidential, it should always have dignity, respect for your subjects, etc. So this is called ethics. Come to last one, R. What is this R? It's called realistic. Okay. So realistic means whenever you make sure that whenever you select problem statement, it should be practically possible. Okay, you cannot make something unrealistic, so that you may start the study, but you may not be able to complete your research process. So whenever we conduct or take a topic or a statement of the problem, you need to go for realistic parameter. Whether if I conduct the study, is it practically possible for me to complete the study and produce the result and present the result, etc. So this is called as what? Finer, which is known as the criteria for problem statement. Hope it is clear for everyone. So once again I will repeat, problem statement is an interrogative sentence that emphasizes on finding out the difference between dependent variable and independent variable. And I have told you about what is problem statement. This is one of the initial steps in research process where we are going to emphasize on criteria like finer. F stands for feasibility, I stands for interest, N stands for novelty, E stands for ethics, and R stands for realistic. Okay, so that's about problem statement. And if you look at what are the components of problem statement, okay, so when you look at a problem statement, example, okay, I'm just writing an example here. A study to assess the knowledge regarding okay, nosocomial infections among staff nurses working in selected hospitals, Bangalore. Okay, so this is a small example here. So when you look at this problem statement, what are the different parameters which are clear for you? Number one, assessing knowledge. What is knowledge here? The variable. What are you going to assess throughout your study? It's called variable. So variable is clear. What is second thing? What's the topic of the study? Nosocomial infection. So on this topic we are going to conduct the study. So topic is also clear. Who are the subjects or participants in the study? Staff nurses. Yes, staff nurses are going to participate in the study. Where is the setting of the study? Where are you going to conduct the study? Yes, selected hospitals, Bangalore, right? So what are the different parameters which are clear for a researcher? Variable of the study, topic of the study, subjects of the study, and setting of the study. And if you look at this problem statement, you would be able to know what type of study it is. See, it's directly going into a study to assess. Did I mention any intervention here? Absolutely no. So since there is no intervention, it is called as what? Descriptive study. Okay, it's called as what? Descriptive study. If I am putting any kind of intervention here, yes, it goes to what? Experimental study. Hope it's clear for everyone. So this is called, if you are focusing on a clear problem statement, these are the different parameters which are clear for you. Okay. So apart from that, I would like to wind up with what are the different components, as I have said about the parameters, the components of problem statement. Number one is objectives. If you look at this, what are we going to assess? Objective is crystal clear here. You are going to assess the knowledge regarding nosocomial infection. So objectives of the study. Okay. Second one, title of the study. Objectives, I am putting O here. O stands for objectives. Then T stands for title of the study is clear. What is the title of the study here? Nosocomial infection. Now, variable of the study. It's clear, right? So what's the variable of the study? Yes, knowledge is the variable of the study. And what else is clear here from the problem statement? Yes, your hypothesis. Okay. So these are different parameters, and very important thing, please remember students, two more components are there, delimitations and limitations. I will put here D. Delimitations and limitations of the study also will be clear in the problem statement. What do you mean by delimitations? Delimitations are nothing but set boundaries. Okay. Before I conduct a study, what are the different delimitations? I mean, what are the boundaries I will keep? I cannot go to student nurses. My study is pertaining only to staff nurses. So that is one delimitation. Am I going to Kerala and conducting the study? No. So my study is delimited to Bangalore only, selected hospitals, Bangalore. So what boundaries you keep before you plan for your research is called delimitations. Okay. What do you mean by limitations now? Yes, limitations are nothing but the drawbacks of the study. Drawbacks. Okay, what do you mean by drawbacks? When will you identify drawbacks? At the end of the study. Once I complete my research, I would see that, oh, I would have done among student nurses, or I would have increased the sample size. Okay, so drawbacks are identified at the end of the study. Okay, after conducting the research process, activity, you will know limitations, whereas before you conduct your research, researcher will set what? Delimitations. Okay, so that's all. So we will just have a concise, if they ask you university paper, if it is asked for 2 marks, what is problem statement? Go to Curlinger's definition. Then you write what are the criteria for writing problem statement, it's called finer. If they ask you for 5 marks, please make the definition according to Curlinger, then go to finer criteria, then give an example for problem statement, and also please mention about the components of problem statement, like what? Limitations, delimitations, limitations, title of the study, objectives of the study, variable of the study. Okay. So that's all for today. So this is about problem statement. So my question of the session is about, in finer criteria, E stands for what? Okay, so if you like the class, you can message me or you can put your answer in the comment box. So thank you so much for supporting and watching. So enjoy learning. Thank you.